Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Before we start, I would like to ask all the audience to take your seat because we shall begin in a few, maybe in a few seconds. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The Honorable Datuk Seri Isham Ishak, Chief Secretary, Ministry of Defence, Malaysia, Profesor Teknologis Dr. Mazidah Putih, Rektor UiTM Cawangan Terengganu, Associate Professor Teknologis Dr. Sarifah Fauziah Said Draman, Deputy Rector of Academic Affairs, Associate Professor Dr. Rosman Mahmud, Deputy Rector of Research and Industry Linkages, Deputy Rector, Assistant Rectors and Executive Management of UiTM Cawangan Terengganu, Heads of Department and Unit, Delegation from Strategic and Platinum Partners, all participants, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Fathiyah Ismail, the Master of Ceremony of TiBEC YBhg's Keynote presentation session this afternoon. We shall have two speakers to share their delightful thoughts on the respective topics. They are the Honorable Datuk Seri Isham Ishak, Chief Secretary, Ministry of Defence, Malaysia, and Dr. Gigih Fitrianto, SE, MSE, PhD from Universitas Gajah Mada, UGM, Indonesia. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the moderator of our first keynote speech and presentation is Dr. Wan Anissa Banum Datuk Saleh. Before passing the floor to Dr. Anissa, allow me to give a brief introduction on her. She is a lovely and dedicated woman, commonly known as Dr. Nisa, who has been with UiTM Terengganu for almost or maybe more than 25 years. But she still looks so young. Okay, her area of interest are corporate finance and also mergers and acquisition. Her active participation in teaching and learning has won her many awards, and one of them was a Diamond Award at International Invention and Innovative Competition 2020. Therefore, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Dr. Wan Anissa. The floor and the stage are now yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The Honorable Datuk Seri Isham Ishak, Chief Secretary, Ministry of Defence, Malaysia, Professor D.S. Dr. Mazidah Putih, Rector UiTM Cawangan Terengganu, Associate Professor D.S. Dr. Sarifah Fauziah Said Draman, Deputy Rector of Academic Affairs, D.S. Dr. Elmi Abdul Kadir, Deputy Rector of Students Affairs, and Associate Professor Dr. Rosman Mahmud, Deputy Rector of Research and Industry Linkage, Deputy Rector, Assistant Rectors, and Executive Management of UiTM Cawangan Terengganu, Heads of Departments and Units, Delegation from Strategic Partners, all participants, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum and thank you, Madam Fathiyah. It is my honor to be a moderator for these keynote sessions. First of all, may I introduce to you our keynote speaker, the Honorable Datuk Seri Isham Ishak. I am excited to inform that Datuk Seri is an alumni of UITM. Graduated with a diploma in business studies in 1990. Then he went for another diploma in public administration at Intan Bukit Kiara, graduated in 1994. Alhamdulillah, 2 diploma. Following that, he furthered his studies in international business at University of Nebraska, graduated in 1992. Still in USA, he got his Master of Arts in Management from Claremont Men's College, California, graduated in 2003. And a very interesting college, Men's College. Then he had pursued further for Oxford Executive Management Program at Side Business School, Oxford University, UK, graduated in 2009. Looks like he didn't stop there. He continues his study in Advanced Leadership Management Program, Harvard Business School, USA, graduated in 2015. So ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to the program that Datuk Seri have experienced, leadership management program. Probably you all one day will be a leader. Ladies and gentlemen, especially you ITM student, please continue your study in master. Don't stop in degree. Don't stop now. Now, let me continue share Dr. Seri his career path, including his career position. Datuk Seri started serving as a Secretary General of the Ministry of Defence Malaysia from 20 September 2023. Previously, he was the Secretary General of the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry Malaysia from 17 January 2023 until 25 September 2023. Secretary General of the Ministry of Transport Malaysia from 25 November 2019 until 16 January 2023. Secretary General of the Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture Malaysia from 17 January 2019 until 24 November 2019. And he also held the position of Secretary General of the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry from July 2018 until 16 February 2019. In addition, he also served as Deputy Secretary General Trade in Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry from 2016 until 2018. A very vast experience and a very interesting biodata. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to invite Datuk Seri to share his valuable knowledge with the audience. Welcome, Datuk.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi washabihi ajmain. To Dr. Wan Anisa Banum, you may sit down. It's going to be a long speech.
Okay.
So don't worry. First and foremost, I would like to recognize Rector UiTM Cawangan Terengganu, Professor Dr. Mazida, Associate Professor Dr. Sarifah Fauzia, Dr. Ermi, Associate Professor Dr. Rosman Mahmud, Deputy Rectors, Assistant Rectors, Executive Management of UiTM Cawangan Terengganu, Heads of Department, Unit Delegation from Strategic Partners, all participants, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor for me to be here this afternoon, to be present in this very important event. which is held by UITM in Terengganu. And more importantly, as an alumni, I studied at UITM Dungun, Terengganu, way back in 1988. And I must thank UITM for molding me for whom I am today. During those times, classes were conducted in English, even exams were in English. So it helped mold me to be where I am today. It also helped me to be more confident, to be speaking like I'm speaking today, to always continue learning new things, and also never forget to share whatever knowledge I have with especially students from UITM, because I know UITM is a very capable organization in producing very excellent, outstanding people who are responsible, caring for not only society, but the state and also the country. So thank you for inviting me this evening or this afternoon. You may wonder why is the Secretary General of MINDEF is here, standing in front of you to talk about the convergence of digitalization as well as sustainability. For your information, I spent 26 years in the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry. My job was merely to develop industry, to bring in as many investments as possible to the country so that they build factories, they bring in terms of industries and services so that we can create jobs for graduates like you when you graduate from your school. And also more importantly is for us to build an international trade rules and regulation that will be helping people who are in the business so that they are able to do business in Malaysia and also bilaterally, regionally and globally. So during my 26th tenure in MITI, part of my work was to develop policies and also to execute them. And what you see in front of you here is enhancing innovation. So innovation is also a policy which is directly involved under me to build industries, to build an ecosystem conducive enough for investors to come to Malaysia, as well as sustainability to ensure there's long-term sustainability, because we need certainty via sustainability so that people are confident to invest in Malaysia. And more importantly is the fourth industrial revolution. So MITI was the first ministry who came out with a policy on the fourth industrial revolution only for the industry and those related to manufacturing. In all 27 ministries, we were the first one to introduce. There was no principal policy, but we came about because in MITI, we saw that the fourth industrial revolution is a very important agenda for creating new opportunities so that we can create future jobs for students like you when you enter into the industry. Ladies and gentlemen, today I was asked to speak about digitalization, sustainability, and the convergence. The agenda of the government since a long time ago, way back in 2001, government has introduced digitalization. Digitalization means bringing in technology into our work environment. That is for government. I'm just sharing with you what government does and also how it impacts the industry or the companies or the private sector. Now, digitalization is something that is here already. And why was it introduced? Because, number one, we know in terms of financial resources, we don't have that much or that many resources. Secondly, we need to be competitive globally to always become a trading nation. Now, for your information, Malaysia is a small trading nation. We are a small country, but international trade is the core revenue, core economic growth for the country. Without international trade, we cannot have businesses, we cannot have industries, we cannot have investments, we cannot have factories, we cannot have companies that offers you jobs, because many of you are in the areas of studying in the areas of accounting, business, economics, management. Some are in IT, some are in communication, some in data management. So government's role is always thinking about ways to create jobs for you. If not, when you graduate from your university, you'll be going around to find jobs. But where can you find these jobs? So for government, it is important that digitalization become an agenda for which we are able to now plan to create jobs for you. Secondly, in digitalization, we need to change the mindset of how we think from analog, doing things manually, to digitalization. So we are going from from analog to digital. There are some pros and cons to digitalization, and this could be a problem to you. What does this mean? Number one, digitalization means government can effectively now provide services with higher productivity, more effectively, and more higher reach to more people. But this means we use technology. And when we use technology, we may not require many people to work in government or to work in companies. So your problem, students, will probably be you will not have any jobs anymore. So how do we create the value added to make sure that you can have jobs? So that's why now with the advent of digitalization, there are new things that is being talked about, the new agenda of the country, the new agenda of the government in digitalization. I will speak about sustainability and how do this convergence needs to be understood by everyone. If not, you may be confused. You may not be able to get the job that you want, and you may not have the time to ready yourself to be able to secure the job that you may want. If you are not able to secure, somebody else will take that job that rightly belongs to you. So today, what I wanted to discuss is for you to understand the convergence or the intersection between digitalization and sustainability and how it can impact you. Now, in digitalization today, we talk about big data. We talk about artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, cybersecurity, and data centers. Many among we are talking about moving from the mindset of analog, manual, to more digitalization, digital, in the realm of digital technology. These are all hyperbole. Do you know what is hyperbole? Hyperbole is something exaggerated, statements or claims not meant to be taken literally. So a hyperbole, please write down what hyperbole means. Afterwards, you go and study what hyperbole means. It's something very, very important and critical for you to understand. Now, why did government embark on this? Big data, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, cybersecurity, data centers, and many, many others that I've spoken about. I'll come to that in just a short while. Now, this agenda is the new driver of economic growth. For your information, this year in 2023, there was a survey done by Arthur Doolittle or ADL and also Forbes. They did a study, and this study mentioned two main important agendas or drivers of growth of companies everywhere in the world, globally. Number one is digitalization, and secondly is sustainability. So these two are new economic growth that is going to create wealth, that's going to create jobs for you, and that's going to create opportunities. Of course, there are some cons that will happen, meaning to say the number of jobs that may be produced for you may not be as much as in the past. Now, in the past, Malaysia was on the industrial growth plan. We created industry, heavy industries, Proton, Produa, we had palm oil plantation, we had manufacturing. So there were many, many jobs, but those are now reducing. For instance, in one factory, the last 10 years, they employ maybe 5 to 10,000 people. But today, in data centers, they only employ 17 people or less. So what does this mean? This means that it may impact or it will impact you in terms of finding the job that you may want to be. So I'm sure you feel scared, right? So don't worry. What you need to do is to understand the environment, the ecosystem that will happen in the future for you to be ready and for you to be able to maneuver yourself in finding the right path, the right journey, so that you can reach the ambition that you want to go. Air sikit. Sorry, hari-hari cakap macam ni lah. Okay. Now, when I mention the new driver of growth, this also means different way of management, a different way of revolution, the delivery system to make better from where we were before to where we want to become. Okay? So For instance, artificial intelligence. Why is it so important that we need to embrace artificial intelligence? For your information, in the defense sector, which I am now, AI will be the new ruler of the world. Those who command artificial intelligence will rule the world. That is why you have China and the US fighting for technology and becoming the leader in terms of artificial intelligence. When you have artificial intelligence, you do not have to think anymore. The machine thinks for you. You put in a problem statement and the machine will tell you what to do without you thinking. And what does this mean? It means that you can think faster and you can compete better with one another. That's why the US and China are fighting for leadership in artificial intelligence. It's so powerful. So what does this mean to you? You must understand, you must embrace, you must understand how artificial intelligence works so that you do not feel threatened and you will always find options or way around the problems that you will be facing. Now, sustainability. I've talked about in digitalization, now I'll speak about sustainability. And where did this sustainability subject matter came about? Well, as you understand, countries are emitting a lot of greenhouse carbon. And this comes from factory, from vehicles. You emit carbon, and this carbon or emitting greenhouse affects the environment or ecosystem. That's why you see today the monsoon season are changing. Rain is heavier than as in the past. It's getting hotter, and this climate change is affecting the way we live. And even today, you see problems in terms of harvesting rice because of geopolitical issues. And all these are all affecting us. That's why the agenda on sustainability is the first most important topic among all companies that has been surveyed by Forbes and also by ADL. So number one is sustainability, and second is digitalization. So these two subject matters are really going to impact you in the way we live, the way we think, the way we manage our resources, and of course, our survivability in the future. So the agenda on sustainability is the primary moral and economic imperative of the 21st century. So morally, we have to embrace sustainability. If not, we will become irresponsible as a citizen of the country and citizen of the world. Being irresponsible means we don't care about the environment. We don't care about the resources that is being taken out from the earth. We don't care about trees dying. All we care is about finding happiness, spending money, shopping, but we do not think about the future. If we did not take into account sustainability, the world will be destroyed. It will change and will destroy you, not only you, but your children and your children's children. It is one of the most important sources of both opportunities and risks, sustainability. And also, caring for the nature, society, business have become an interconnected in a very complex way. Secondly, it is also people like me, decision makers. Now we have to take sustainability into account when we make any decisions that will impact you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, come the UN SDG goals. They have listed down a number of goals that every country who are morally responsible to make sure that they take into account sustainability in the way we do things, the way we manage our resources, our nature, and many others. Now, you understand what digitalization is and the moral commitment, requirement, responsibility of a citizen of a country and also to the global perspective needs to do. So you have digitalization and you now have sustainability. Those are two agendas that even government is currently trying to promote and trying to advocate so that we do not lose out on the opportunity. Why is it important for us to embrace digitalization and sustainability? Because remember, a small trading nation, we need to survive. The Prime Minister has mentioned that by 2030, we want to be the top 30 most economic power in the world. So how do we reach there? So we have to embrace digitalization and sustainability. We have that in our policies. We have that in a lot of execution of things that we do. For instance, I'm sure you remember the rare earth issue. Dekat Kuantan ada kan? The rare earth issue. So if we do not manage this rare earth, we will lose our resources. Dulu kita ada biji timah, tin. But now we have lost that. We went to palm oil, but we are also losing competitiveness in terms of palm oil. But now we have a new resource called rare earth. And this rare earth, Malaysia is one of the few countries in the world that produces this rare earth. And what are these rare earth used? This rare earth is part of an electrical component to make missiles, to make satellites, to make the strongest magnets in the world and components in the electrical circuits that you have in your everyday use. If you do not manage this, our sustainability, our competitiveness will be lost. Now, if we do this very well, digitalization and sustainability, the private equity investors will not look into Malaysia. Currently, we are one of the top 15 best investing country in the world. If we do not take care of our sustainability, of our ecosystem, we will lose our competitiveness. When we lose our competitiveness, these investors will go to Indonesia, they will go to Vietnam, they will go to Myanmar, they will go to Thailand. And where are we? We will not have jobs. Okay, we will be very poor, we will be behind. And you, students here, or the public, will blame the government. So the government's role, or my role as a decision maker, is to help make policies to make sure that we have both agendas running parallel. But we realize that digitalization and sustainability are slowly converging, meaning they are coming together. Digitalization requires sustainability and sustainability requires digitalization. So there is an intersection. And this intersection is the most important thing for everyone in this room to understand. If not, I again reiterate, you will be confused, you will be lost, you will have lost your direction and we will not be competitiveness. When we lose our competitiveness, this is where we lose our investors, our countries will be poor, you will continue being paid a low salary. We cannot compete with other countries around us. Indonesia, Vietnam, Myanmar, Thailand are all trying to compete for the best agenda or plan for digitalization and the best sustainability package for investors to come to Malaysia. Now, ladies and gentlemen, understanding the intersection between digitalization and sustainability, as I mentioned, means there is a transformation happening. So you need digitalization in sustainability and sustainability in digitalization. What does that mean? Now, currently, we are facing challenges. I will have to share with you the challenges so that we can start the dialogue or discussion on the convergence of digitalization and transformation. Currently, we are facing the challenges of rising prices of goods, services, makanan, ayam, telur, semua naik. Geopolitical risk, the war in Ukraine, it has affected the production of grain, tepung. Bila tepung kurang, sebab tu India dah ban beras daripada ekspor ke Malaysia. Sebab mereka tak dapat tepung. So dia kena jaga dia punya resources, which is beras. So bila beras is banned from being exported to Malaysia, prices go up and we have less supply of rice in the economy. So this creates tension, geopolitical tension in the region. There are also risks of rising inflation that is facing in the country. So these are challenges that are facing. And the two hyperbole, digitalization and sustainability, have risen in terms of priority for the government. So how is digitalization and sustainability convergence affect you? Number one, digitalization help manage sustainability. Remember, we are taking resources, we are managing our company to produce less carbon. We are trying to move now from driving a car that uses petrol to now using electric cars. And why is this happening? Because we want to reduce carbon. We want to achieve our goal of zero carbon by 2045. So digitalization means better managing our resources, better managing our operations. When you have your own business or you're working in a company, you must be able to better manage them using digitalization. So you must manage your resources, your water, your electricity, your scarce natural raw materials, and more important, you must secure our biodiversity. Then comes social well-being, your health, your welfare. And digitalization helps via providing you real-time data as well as information. Then you will be able to make sure the sustainability agenda continues. So these are the two intersection. Now, secondly, sustainability impacts caused by digitalization. Now, when you digitalize means you need to use a lot of rare earth. Nak kena korek semua ni daripada tanah. Okay? But if you are not sustainable, I just give you one example lah. Kan macam kat Kuantan, Pahang bawah ni, kita korek macam-macam. Dan apa berjadi? Environment rosak. Jalan kotor, tanah berlubang, then people are rushing to just explore and exploit our resources. So, sustainability impacts caused by digitalization means because of digitalization, we are using a lot of resources. But without the sustainability agenda, if we do not care for the environment, if we do not care for how we use our electricity, our water, how we manage our resources, then we are at the losing end. We will become morally irresponsible. So I hope that this very short speech that I'm giving or lecture that I'm giving to you, you now better understand the agenda of digitalization, the agenda of sustainability, and the intersection between digitalization as well as sustainability and how it impacts you. I can see many worried faces here, but don't worry, there's always a solution. So then my last part of my presentation today is about managing the intersection or divergence between digitalization and sustainability. There are 4 things that you must do and you must understand so that you will see the opportunity, number 1. Number 2 is you manage yourself. When you work with a company, you are able to better manage your company so that you will not lose out. You will always be become competitive, and you will always win. And you are able to increase your salary because you are competitive. What are the 4 important things that you need to do? Number 1, when you are in the workforce, you are leading a company, you are leading an organization, the one thing that you must do in understanding the convergence between digitalization and sustainability is to do an audit of your digital sustainability performance. You must stock take where you are, what you need to do in terms of planning, and where you want to go in terms of how you manage digitalization and sustainability. That's number 1, to do an audit so that you can stock take and know where you are, so that you will be able to assess on your threats. You will see where your opportunities are. That's number 1. Secondly, is to identify and prioritize the use of your resources so that you will always optimize your resources, be it electricity, water, how you produce carbon in your factories, and many others. So you must be able to prioritize because you've already stock take. You know where you are via the audit. Now it's for you to plan on how you prioritize the use of your resources. Thirdly, is to integrate sustainability into digital strategy. Remember, you have digitalization, which is going to improve your performance, that's going to help you to have better reach to more people, to have real-time data, to have information so that you can make informed decision. So you must integrate sustainability into your digitalization program. And fourthly, you must test out whether your plan works or not. Because if you do something, if you invest money, a lot of money, and it doesn't work, so what happens? You will be at a loss. Your company, your agency, your organization will not make a profit. Then you will lose out. So kerugian, you do not want that. So what do? You must always do a pilot, proof of concept, test it, and see the quality of your plan so that you will execute it well. Hope you understand it. Huh? So, ladies and gentlemen, in short, today I hope I've been able to give you an understanding of what digitalization is, on how important it is for you to always move on into your journey. And remember, you must be morally responsible. That's where the sustainability agenda will come in. But it runs parallel, but in the future, it always intersects with each other. So you must understand the intersection between digitalization and sustainability and how it affects you as a student, how it affects you as a person who's going into the workforce, and when you join the company, the survivability of your company to now to be competitive and to compete with others who are also working hard to understand what digitalization is about, sustainability, and the convergence between the two. So, ladies and gentlemen, dah habis dah masa? Ada? Setengah jam kan? Sejam ke? Dia ada setengah jam question and answer? Okay. So, I have here lecturers. I hope you are able to now translate what is happening around the global world on the subject of digitalization, and also the importance of the morality, responsibility of everyone here in this room on sustainability. So things may seem very nice in terms of digitalization and how it affects you, but more importantly is to make sure that we conserve the resources of our world, to make sure that our children and our children will have a better future in the world in the future, because we understand how digitalization is transforming the country, how it is affecting our life, and yet we are morally responsible and we understand what it needs to have this morality to make sure that the resources we have, the products that we produce, the greenhouse effect that is happening because of carbon emission will affect us and our future. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your time. I wish everyone the best. Please work hard. It's not an easy journey for me for my last 30 years working in government, because the responsibility of a decision maker like me is very heavy. But gathering the hope from the people in this room so that Malaysia will have a better future in the world gives me the strength to always continuously study, understand, and try to find ways as best as possible to provide the best policy by government for the people of Malaysia so that we together have a better future and our children for the next generation to come. Thank you for your time and thank you for the opportunity for me to speak in front of you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Okay, we open for question and answer session. I have received 4 questions from the students. Okay, I'm wondering whether. Oh, you have questions. Okay, I can. Yes. Mic ni boleh buka ni kan?
Okay, Assalamualaikum, Datuk Seri. I have one question. Oh yeah, saya bagi balik mikrofon.
Siapa nak tanya bahasa Malaysia pun boleh. Jangan takut.
Okay, my question is, when we talk about digitalization, when we talk about sustainability, we have to relate somehow or other. We have to relate it with digitalization. Okay, sustainability itself means our ability to maintain at some certain rate, kan? Okay, so especially when can say after pandemic kan, sustainability is so highlighted. Okay, even dulu MAE tak terkenal, now currently we have to use all the improvement that we have in the banking sector, what so forth. Okay, fine. I know you currently all the students have to be digitally literate in order to be marketable in the market. So, but my concern as the lecturer, okay, on top of become sustainable, what about other marketable element that students should have? For example, their communication skill, their human touch skill, their ability to think about pro and cons about something in making decision. All right. On top of become sustainable, become digital, what was the word? Digitally literate. Okay. So what is your says? What are your says about the other marketable elements that students should have? That's my concern.
Okay, thank you. Prof. Mazida. Okay, okay, MC, lupa.
The MC.
Yeah. I forgot to mention just one thing before I go to the principles in life that you should have. Number one, there is this new term called ESG. Have you heard of ESG? Okay, it's called Environment, Social and Governance. Why is it important? Now, Malaysia, as I mentioned, we have always been a contract manufacturing country. Companies like Nike, Brooks Brothers, Honda, Toyota, they are the ones who own the brand. They are the one who owns the product. We only manufacture them here. Okay? So we produce on behalf of them. That's why we call contract manufacturing. We have very less Malaysian brands out there. We have Mary Brown, we have Secret Recipe. There are some of our brands, but not strong enough. So we are at the we need to be a good supplier and vendor to these companies. So these companies are multinational companies, and they have committed themselves to adopt ESG, meaning to say whatever they produce must have a plan that reduces carbon, must have a plan that is morally sustainable. So if we do not, if our Malaysian companies do not have a plan on ESG, we will not be able to become the supplier to them. Okay, we will lose out. That's why ESG agenda now is very important, sustainability. So you must be certified. Your company must be ESG certified. Then your product must be ESG certified. If not, kalau lah dulu you produce a component for Nike, kata kita buat kasut for Nike, kita buat upper sole dia yang atas tu. Suddenly, you do not have any plan for the adoption of ESG. You cannot become a supplier anymore. They will not pick you. They will pick somebody from Indonesia, from Thailand, or from Vietnam, because they are ESG certified and both company and also product. So ESG is very important, the sustainability part. That's why government is promoting ESG very strongly. And companies now appoint sustainability officers in their companies to make sure the sustainability agenda is adopted by the companies. Now, the question is about how do you become a good person? How do you become successful? I only do 5 things. I always ask my officers to remember 5 things. In government, there is. Number 1, you must always be skilled. If you want to become a good person or good officer, a good employee to your employer, you must have skill. Your computer skill, your speaking skill, your PR skill, you must be brave. For your information, I did not have the speech 2 months ago, 1 month ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 days ago. I just wrote my speech just now, just before lunch. Because I didn't understand what this TeMIC is all about. But when I was walking around, I understand what is it that you wanted to hear, and that's when I wrote my speech. So you need to have a skill on good writing speech, good speaking skills, your PR skills, your communication, your narrative. You must work on it. I was very bad in English, but you know what I did? Every day I would speak in front of the mirror, speak in English. I always have a book in my pocket. I always write down the difficult words on English. Hyperbole, so I told you kan. Okay, I tulis. Balik rumah dulu mana ada internet. Saya balik buka dictionary. Then I wrote a sentence on that word. So you must do this. These are amalan, habits that you need to always do. I read articles in English newspaper. I understand and I can explain, summarize what the article is all about. And I can read many books. I've read so many books. And I don't have to read every page of the book. A book has sometimes 4 ideas that they want to implore to you. So you must understand what the ideas, you must quickly catch what the idea is about. Then you understand the idea and you practice them, how you utilize them. Okay, so you don't have to read every page of the book. So I don't read every page of the book. So I just read excerpts of the book that try to share or implore the ideas that they want to tell you about. So that's number 1. Number 2, you must have knowledge. It's about reading. It's about reading, being sensitive to what's happening around you so that you can always adjust. When I say always adjust and knowledge, I always tell my officers, you must always do 3 things. Number 1, when you make a decision, you want to say something, you want to do something, you must always think ahead. Never think now. You must always think ahead. And when you think ahead, you must always have 3 scenarios. 1, short term, medium term, long term. Number 2, when you make a decision, when you are thinking ahead, when you make your decision, you must always think again. Why must you always think again? Because things changed. Geopolitical change, environment change, government change, and we've gone through that many times. And changes needs adaptability and changes. So you must always continuously, quickly be able to adapt and adopt new ideas in how the government wants you to think. So think again, think ahead. But when do you know when you have thought ahead and when you have thought again, your decision and your action is correct? This is when you must think across. Thinking across means you must compare your idea, your decision, your prognosis, your statement against other people around you, your competitors, your other countries like Singapore or Thailand or Vietnam. How are they thinking? How are they deciding? This is where, remember just now, you do an audit, then you put your priority, and then you can plan yourself on how you want to be competitive and survive. So you must always think across. Check with other people who are your competitors so that you will not lose out and you will always be winning. Skills, knowledge. Number 3 is experience. Experience ni orang Melayu paling malas. Sebab you suka tengok handphone, main game, you tak mau belajar. You don't want to learn from your superiors. You don't want to learn from your professors. How they behave, how they speak, how do they narrate ideas, how do they translate ideas into practical terms and conditions. So this is where we lose out in terms of knowledge. You must always take the opportunity to learn from people. It's okay. Somebody gives you a directive, you just do it. Don't say, tak nak lah, malas lah, susah lah, saya tak ada masa. Malam nak pergi tengok wayang. I will miss game Liverpool dengan Nottingham Forest baru ni. So, you know, these are the problem dengan orang Melayu. You lack the passion to learn from others. So you must have knowledge. Number 3 is wisdom. Wisdom ni berlaku bila you want to make decision. Hari-hari saya buat beratus decision. Saya takut decision saya kalau salah, awak yang akan kena impact. So you must have wisdom. Wisdom is where you bring your skills, your knowledge and your experience together to make the right decision. And when you make a decision, bukannya datang daripada udara. You kena guna formula. You nak buat decision ni kena guna formula, SWOT. Saja. Dah dengar SWOT kan? SWOT analysis kan? Okay. So saya hari-hari bila buat decision, saya guna all this pastel, SWOT analysis, macam-macam saya guna to make the right decision. And most importantly, nombor 5, how to be successful is attitude. It boils down to attitude. Okay. Masa saya di Kementerian Pengangkutan, perkara yang paling menyedihkan sekali ialah ada berlaku kemalangan di Pulau Pinang, 5 orang mati, budak-budak Melayu. Salah seorang daripada budak Melayu itu mati ialah twin, adik-beradik twin. So saya pergi, saya jumpa bapak dia, kenapa bagi anak dia bawa motor, mak rempit? Bapak dia kata kat saya, I'm so proud my son is a mak rempit, sebab dia mak rempit. Kalau dia mati mak rempit pun saya bangga. Inikah attitude yang kita terpaksa berhadapan harian dengan perkara macam ni. Ini satu golongan saja. Dia macam-macam golongan yang saya jumpa hari-hari. So it's attitude. Please work on having the right attitude, the right vibes to become a person that is going to be contributing significantly to yourself, your family and your nation. Okay? So 5 benda ni saja untuk menjawab soalan tadi. Terima kasih.
Okay, Datuk, there are many questions I have received.
Ada 10 minit lagi.
Okay, one from Akila, okay.
Thank you, Doctor. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wassalam.
I am Nur Akila binti Muhammad Nasruddin from Bachelor of Finance UiTM Dungun Terengganu. Datuk Seri, I would like to ask for your sincere advice regarding how we as the business students should adapt and equip ourselves to survive in this digitalization era. Just now, you mentioned that the digitalization may affect manpower in the business world. So, does the government right now under any ministry or agencies have programs that can help us students to enhance our IT and AI skills? Thank you.
Okay, that's a very good question. Remember, the 5 things I mentioned to you, make sure you are competent on your skills and your knowledge. Basic enough. Okay? So you must have your skills and knowledge. But when you enter into the workforce in terms of digitalization, you must always be prepared to compete. Because currently we allow for many of the programmers from overseas to come. And the best programmers in the world seems to come from India. So why are they so competent? Because they, in terms of education, primary and tertiary education, they are exposed to innovation, exposed to creativity. They're not like rote learning system that we have in Malaysia. Okay? So that's how they are more competitive, more better programmers than we are. So you have skills and knowledge, that's your basic. So when you enter into the workforce, you must always work hard to try and make sure that you position yourself where, audit yourself where you are today in terms of skills and knowledge and where you need to be. And this is where you understand where your gap is, and this is where you need to build your competency. And how is this done? Government offers many TVET programs, many upskilling programs, many reskilling programs, not only in institutions like UiTM or universities, but in the companies itself. The government has embarked on this because they will take you, they will put you in the companies, and this is how you develop your competency in the areas of AI, data centers, and all sorts. But remember just now, the problem that we face in government is data centers. You require only 17 people. It's a huge center. But data centers, they eat up a lot of energy. Okay, they take a lot of energy to cool down the servers. Okay, so this cooling of servers, this is where the sustainability comes in. Digitalization is good, but sustainability in terms of how you use the resources to cool down the servers is also something that we need to balance on. So please be aware of the programs that government is offering in terms of upskilling, reskilling, and also TVET training to position yourself in the job market where it is important for you to be prepared. Now, I've traveled many countries, and the last few countries that I went to Japan. I went to see Malaysian students there. And this student was studying biotechnology on grass, rumput-rumput. So dia complain kat saya belajar biotech ni, saya nak balik Malaysia, saya tak ada kerja. So difficult for me to find a job on satu, why did you study biotechnology on grass? Saya pun tak faham, but it's okay. So I told her, it's not about the degree in biotechnology in grass that you learn, but it's about how Japanese people think, how they transform ideas into real projects, real opportunities. It's about the thinking. When you go overseas, to me, it's not much about your degree. It's how that country, that people, the society think, in how they process things, on how they solve problems. That to me is more important than you bringing your degree in biotechnology in grass. But I did tell her that why don't you produce products, kalau macam racun. Kalau kita boleh spray rumput tu dengan racun, kita nak bunuh racun rumput yang satu-satu tu je, bukan semua rumput kan. So why don't you produce something like that yang mana tak ada lagi dalam negara. So dia kata okay. Right? So I hope that in a way solve your problem lah. Saya suka jawab not to answer your problem. Saya suka jawab on how you should think in solving the problem. To me that's more valuable to me. Okay? I don't like to give answers to you. I want you to think on how to find the answer. Okay? Senang sikit kuda, saya nak cari jawapan untuk you. Okay, ada masa lagi? Sikit lagi. Next question. Yang laki-laki ni selalu kurang jawab soalan. You are the leaders, you ni imam. Patutnya laki-laki kena lebih proaktif.
Actually, they already gave a few questions, but we already answered it.
Oh, alhamdulillah. Okay, ada lagi soalan ni, Akila ni. Silakan Akila. Very good. This is a future, if I were an employer, I would pick her. The first thing as a leader, bila saya masuk, the first thing I do is to find somebody who will replace me immediately. That's what I do. You tahu dekat MITI, kalau you tanya orang sapu sampah yang dekat pejabat saya, yang cleaner tu, you kerja apa kat MITI? Jawapan dia ialah, you boleh test kalau you pergi MITI. Jawapan cleaner ni, yang endo ni, yang cuci-cuci. Pak, kerja saya adalah untuk membantu negara Malaysia untuk meningkatkan perdagangan antarabangsa, untuk membawa pelaburan ke Malaysia dan untuk membangunkan industri Malaysia. Itu jawapan dia. Ni yang cleaner bawah ni. Bukan pegawai lagi. Okay? So everyone must have the same objective, same vision, shared vision, so that you feel the sense of belonging to your organisation. Okay, jawapan. Soalan.
Assalamualaikum Dr. Seri. As a finance student, I want to know what is your opinion about financial sector in this digitalization era, especially on the workforce. Thank you.
Okay. So what you learn in school today is about the basic of finance. Betul, basic. But when you enter the job market, you are not managing finance on not only tangible products but non-tangible products, services. So how do you value a service? Contohnya artificial intelligence. You beli software ataupun you beli sistem artificial intelligence and you have a service. Somebody gives you a statement and you provide an answer because of your AI. You are the AI server. So as a finance person, you must be able to think about what is the value of each deliverable or product or output or outcome yang you jual kepada orang ramai. So those are new things which is not written in the book. It's going to be how you think on how to solve those problems. So as a final year student, you must always be open to think that not everything is in the book. Saya sebelum ni di Ministry of Transport, saya di MITI 26 tahun. Saya kena transfer ke Motek, saya pergi ke transport, dan daripada transport saya kena panggil balik ke MITI sebab PM nak saya buat the new industrial master plan. Dia bagi saya 8 bulan saja saya buat. So kita dah ada 3 industrial master plan daripada tahun 86 sampailah 2020. And dalam buku tu ada, dalam buku dalam dunia ni ada model-model tertentu macam mana kita nak build industry and the ecosystem of the industry. Tapi PM tak mau. Dia kata you must think something different. So saya cari dalam buku, memang tak ada. So macam mana nak buat? Pecah kepala saya 8 bulan ni. Kalau saya gagal, saya akan ditukar ke Jabatan Kebajikan Hal Ehwal Orang Asli. So kalau boleh, saya tak nak lah. Saya nak duduk kekal di MITI. So we have to think. So saya guna the process, the thinking process yang kita diajar dekat MITI untuk come up with this new industrial master plan. So dalam new industrial master plan ni is the total revolutionized way of thinking on how we bring the industry to the next level. The problem that we have now is middle income gap. Kita punya gaji tak naik. So how do we increase our salary? So the new industrial master plan addresses this issue. In 7 years by 2030 insyaAllah, kalau kita ikut plan ni betul-betul, kita punya salary akan meningkat. Okay, so the model tu memang tak ada dalam buku. So you have to think of a different way, out of the box thing. And ingat risiko, kalau 20-30 tak jadi, siapalah orang bertanggungjawab? Itulah dia. Dia ni lah yang buat benda ni, tak jadi, susah. So itulah, kadang-kadang jawapan tu tak ada dalam buku. So you have to use your thought process on how you solve your problem. Okay? Soalan yang senang-senang ada?
Actually, already limited time.
Alhamdulillah.
We have to stop
Perlu-perlu
here.
agak saya ni. Susah soalan ni. Okay. So walau bagaimanapun saya sekali lagi I take the opportunity to thank everyone, Dr. Wan Esa yang tak pernah berhentilah mengekori saya ke mana-mana saya pergi. Tapi I'm very happy to be able to contribute back to everyone here in this room so that we can become a better people, better nation and of course a better country for the future. Terima kasih. Okay.
Thank you very much for Datuk Seri for the valuable information. I believe the audience, especially students, feel highly motivated. Remember, students, to find the right path, to find the right option, to secure your jobs, since artificial intelligence, AL, may take over the world. Now, I pass the floor to Madam Fatia.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Datuk Seri Isham Ishak and Dr. Anissa, a very informative presentation and Q&A session. Okay, we would like to thank Datuk Seri sudi bersama kita pada hari ini and share all very, very input yang sangat, campur beda bahasa saya. Okay, saya rasa very good informative presentation just now. Okay, as a token of appreciation to our speaker, I would like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Rosman Mahmud, Deputy Rector, Research and Industry Linkages, accompanied by Dr. Wan Anissa, to give some souvenir to our honourable speaker, Datuk Seri Isham. Okay, a big applause to Datuk Seri. Okay, thank you very much. The Honourable Datuk Seri, okay, I need to leave us now because he needs to catch the flight to go back to Kuala Lumpur. Thank you again, Datuk Seri, for joining us today. Okey, tepukkan sekali lagi. Terima kasih. Okey, Alhamdulillah. Okay, may I have the floor back? Okay, boleh? Alright. Alhamdulillah, we have finished with our first speaker. Now let's continue with our invited speech session by our second speaker, Dr. Gigih Fitriyanto, who has been exclusively imported far away from Universitas Gajah Mada, Indonesia. Okay, but before that, Let me introduce our moderator for this session. He is tidak lain tidak bukan Dr. Muhammad Khairi Ismail. Dr. Khairi, yes. Okay, not yet. Dr. Khairi, please stay there for a moment. Okay, let me give some introduction about you first. Dr. Khairi is currently a senior lecturer in economics at Faculty of Business and Management and currently holds the position as the coordinator coursework at Graduate Study Centres UiTM Cawangan, Terengganu. He holds a first class degree in Bachelor of Economics from University Utara Malaysia and a distinction in his Master of Economic Study from University Kebangsaan Malaysia, UKM. He then completed his PhD studies in Environment and Development in 2019. His area of specialization is development, education, and financial economics. He has contributed more than 50 articles in the form of journal articles, chapters in books, and proceeding paper, and also has been appointed as editorial board and article referee for Sage Open, Estudios di Economia Aplicada, saya sebutlah kan sebab dia menarik bunyinya, MPDI journals and many more. And on top of that, the most important thing, he is still single and available. Dr. Khairi, please welcome. Okay, out of all many things, the last thing is what the audience have heard.
Assalamualaikum. Okey. Okey, boleh. Dia punya. Okey. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and very good morning. Sorry, I just test you. Okay. Assalamualaikum and very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Honorable Professor Dr. Mazida Putih, Associate Professor Dr. Sarifah Fauzia, Deputy Director Dr. Emri Abdul Kadir, Deputy Director of Student Affairs, Associate Professor Dr. Rosman Mahmud, Deputy Director, Assistant Director and Executive Management of UiTM Cawangan Terengganu, Chief of Department, Unit Delegation, Strategy Partner, all participants, ladies and gentlemen. Mencari buah di pohon bidara, di bawah sarang burung tempua. Salam sembah pembuka bicara, selamat datang untuk semua. Selamat datang and welcome to invited speaker slot how to publish your article in Journal of Economics and Business and Gajah Mada International Journal of Business, Gamma JB. My name is Khairi. I be your moderator for this session. I'm pleased to welcome our honorable guest speaker, Dr. Gigi Fitrianto. Okay. Dr. Gigi Fitrianto presently is a senior lecturer in Universitas Gajah Mada, Indonesia. Currently was graduated from Hiroshima University of Economics for doctorate program, and its area of research are in spatial economics and regional economics. For its master and bachelor program, is graduated from Universitas Gajah Mada, Indonesia in Faculty of Economics and Business Management. Its research was about monetary economics. Dr. Gigi's research interests are specialized in spatial economics, regional economics, and international trade. Since 2022, Dr. Gigi Fitrianto is a managing director at Journal of Indonesia Economy and Business and also appointed as editor-in-chief in the same journal for the year 2021. The latest professional activities such as the field supervisor KKM Pembelajaran Pemberdayaan Masyarakat Universitas Gajah Mada and also appointed as a local expert Rapat Komite Regional Bulan Maret 2023. Without further ado, we invite Dr. Gigi Fitranto to deliver his speech.
Oke, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's really honor and great pleasure for me that the UITM University Teknologi Mara Malaysia invited us in behalf the Unit Publication Office, Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Gadjah Mada, as maybe one step for the further collaboration and fruitful relationship between Universitas Gadjah Mada and UITM Terengganu. Hopefully, the next year we can collaborate and also to join research and also a lot of publication that we can together. And thank you very much for Dr. Hairi for the introduction, and maybe for the first that I would like to say that not only I and Dr. Hairi quite similar age, and we also share the similar status, so we still single. No, it's not promotion. It's just for the yes, because it's already the last session, so just to ice breaking. Hopefully, it's still not ready for the next session, and then well, it's quite different to the other speakers. I would like to maybe just sharing regarding our first collaboration with the TeMIC. Sorry if my pronunciation is wrong. So for the TeMIC conference with the UITM Terengganu and then Universitas Gadjah Mada. So I myself, the vice of a head of unit publication office, and there are 3 journal that in Faculty of Economic and Business, and 2 of them already Scopus. One is the Journal of Indonesian Economic and Business, and then the second one is the Gadjah Mada International Journal of Business. So hopefully, I believe that a lot of great papers already presented in this conference, and then I believe the committee for the conference can select the best of the best papers that can maybe join to the submit in this journal. So okay, so this is our editorial in chief. So after there is a coup d'etat. So after my during as the editor in chief in 2021, the next editor in chief is Dr. Media Parawita. Unfortunately, she could not attend to this seminar due to the limitation for the administrative. So there is a budget limited for the. So Dr. Mita will present in the next seminar in Singapore. So that's why today I, as the vice head of publication unit, attend to this seminar. And there are list of editorial members. So we also welcome for any lecturer and staff from UITM Terengganu that may also can join us in the editorial member. So the editorial member consists of a lot of people, not only in Indonesia, well, mainly in Indonesia, but there are several others from Australia, India, and then also in Malaysia. There is one college from University Kebangsaan Malaysia, if I remember correctly. It's also become the editorial member. So hopefully in the next year there is some lecture that come from UITM can be join us in here. So especially after we already become in Q3 Scopus Index, and we try to broaden our connection and then collaboration with the international partnership. And then this is just, we really small team. We only had 4 assistant or editorial manager. There are 2 of them are from economics, myself, and then Dr. Muhammad Rian Sanjaya. And then also from accounting, Dr. Arika, and then the last one is from the the war management discipline is Dr. Widya Paramita, and then Dr. Edi Junarsin. So maybe just to highlight what is our agenda so far in this year. There are several internal collaboration, especially we conduct several workshop, and then for the next November 14, there is also a workshop for writing. Unfortunately, it's only held offline. So maybe next year we try to make the workshop online. So I would like to invite some participant from UITM. Please welcome. We were really grateful if there are several can join us. And then especially our highlight is for Gajah Mada International Conference in Economic and Business, Gama ICEP. Thank you very much for Dr. Haslena that come as the sorry, from the UITM, and then hopefully in the next year we already conducting the agenda for Gama ICEP 2024 with a big theme about inclusiveness. So we're talking about the gender, and then inclusivity, and then for diversity. So we really grateful if there are several lectures and staff that can join for the Gajah Mada International. And then we try to make our proceeding into Scopus also. So hopefully it's also make attractive, increase the attractive for the conference. And then for the external, there are several partnership that we already conduct for this year. And then there are several events. And then of course, the last one is with this conference with TeMIC UITM Terengganu. And then for maybe it's much more easier to show several partnership with external exclusive for this year. There we try to widen the collaboration with the partner from ASEAN, especially Vietnam just this year with Hanoi University, and then the Malaysia we had MICEMA, and then UITM for this conference, and then Universitas Kebangsaan Malaysia. And then Singapore for the end of the year, we also has collaboration with APAC, Asian Pacific Economic Conference. And then, but most of them are still in Indonesia. There are several conferences that in Indonesia. So maybe for the international affair, this is just for what's called the how to we submit. We try to increase our process in the quality insurance, how to we manage the quality of the paper. We subscribe the reviewer locator. So it's just part of the software that apply in world of, from Web of Science that try to matching or looking for the best reviewer that possible for each paper. So to do so, we in idea that we try to maintain the quality of the journal, because after the Scopus, we got the Scopus index. It's really hard to select the best paper by using our previous reviewer pool. So we try to use this one to make sure that the reviewer is the best of the best in the field. And then this is the current issue for Journal of Indonesian Economic and Business. So there are three issue for each year. The first one on May, and then the first one in January, the second one on May, and then the last one is on September. So this is our latest issue. So hopefully that for this TeMIC can the best paper can from here can submit it and then publish in our journal, because I believe that the quality is here is very good. And then that's why we really welcome for not only for this conference and also after this conference, many lecturer and then staff can submit here. So we also have social media marketing to try to boost recognition, because once I think some of lecturer here also has a similar problem, how to increase the citation to our journal. So our approach is try to using the new generational marketing, new generational marketing, how the new generation, like the maybe for generation Z or millennial, prefer to use social media, and then we use that one to promote the journal, the papers. We try to make a little summary for each published papers in the journal. So that's why maybe the new generation can take a peek and take a look, much more easy for them to access, and then that's why we can increase the citation. So that's just one of our approach how to handle this problem. So hopefully that if any lecturer or staff here can publish a paper in this journal, and then we boost using social media marketing, then not only from the Malaysian can access the papers, but also much more broader, because we also had a lot of network with our partners in the Europe, especially for the Faculty Economic and Business. And using that kind of social media marketing, we can then reach to the broader audience. And then for the external affairs, so as I showed beforehand, there are several partnership with external. This is several of them. We partnered with several conference, international conference, workshop, and also we had connection or maybe partnership in this year with Sage Publishing. And then we still hope that this year we can directly proceed the proceeding of our conference, and also for this journal with Elsevier, and then so to broaden the audience. And hopefully after that's we are really grateful that after the Scopus Index, that a lot of papers come to the journal, and also after we collaborate several external partnership, such as the Universitas Kebangsaan, and then APEC Singapore, Hanoi University, and then for this conference with UITM, we can increase the engagement with not only for the paper itself, but also for the audience that is present in the conference. So maybe that's the collaborations, as I mentioned beforehand, the collaboration with Sage Publishing. And then we try make a workshop. So the early of this year, we make a workshop, collaborate with the Sage Publishing, especially for the Asia Pacific branch. So she come from Singapore to give some workshop for the writing, and then how to interact with reviewer, because that the last step that usually has become quite hatred, not only for the authors to make what's called revise, but also how to interact with reviewer. Sometimes it's become enigmatic how to handle with reviewer. We thought that it's quite easy just to reply using formal language, but we do not know how the reaction from because they are also human. But unfortunately, due to the blind process, we cannot know what kind of person for the reviewer. So we also have that training and workshop for that one. This is just several to show the relationship between the Journal of Indonesian Economic and Business. Alhamdulillah, we are really grateful to the Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala that our journal can be reach a wider audience like this conference with the UITM, and then hopefully we can not only for this one, but we hope for the future fruitful collaboration. And then this is just the start of the beginning. Inshallah, inshallah. Bismillah, that's the, of course, if this is great for us, and then have benefit not only for the institution, not only for UGM, not only for UITM, but also for the much more broader audience. I think because this is the last session, I will not speak too much because I think the audience already quite tired, and then this is different. Or maybe I need to present the regarding sustainability. Yeah, I have I have some slide regarding the sustainability and then satellite data, but it's just okay. Thank you very much for your attention. Sorry for the invitation. Thank you very much, and the return for Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Gigi, for the good sharing to the audience. Now we go to Q&A session. Maybe we have 1 or 2 questions from the floor. Okay. Wait.
Ada. Oh, function.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm Noor from your ITM Cawangan Terengganu, Kampus Dungun. I am very interested in sending my journal articles. Okay, and I have a few questions. The first question is, do you have limitations of the author's name on the paper? Maybe because I have team members of 7 to 8 members, can I, in one paper, put all the 7 or 8 names, authors? Is there any limitation?
Okay, so the quick response is there is no limitation for the number of authors. So we just like usual journal, you can put a lot of, as long as it's not 100, so it's quite difficult to arrange the layout. So there is no problem actually.
I am very glad to hear that. And then my second question, what is the current editorial focus and direction of the journal? And are there any upcoming changes or initiative in this regard? Okay, and the third question, how does the journal ensure that it stays at the forefront of research in the field?
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. I would like to answer in short, the simple answer. The first, for the second question, the direction is we still maintain for the MN scope. So our MN scope is still focusing on not only economic and business, but also accounting. So there are 3 disciplines in economics, business and business management and accounting discipline to can submit in. Yes. So as long as including the 3 discipline, and also because our, for example, for the Journal of Indonesian Economic and Business, because the name itself there is Indonesia, so it's possible to compare with Indonesian economics. So, for example, lecture and stuff from UITM would like to analyze some kind of economic phenomenons. I think it's better compare with not only Malaysia, for example, and Indonesia. So the idea is to make a broader analysis. Not only for Indonesia, we also some reviewer also try to include why you only focus on Indonesia. Why do not combine the data with the ASEAN, because it's nowadays a lot of data, a lot of information can be accessed. So that this the direction, especially from the reviewer as a whole, and for the editorial, we try to maintain the quality by like I present beforehand. We try to include the reviewer locator, and then we select the best reviewer on the field, and then we try to manage our best to maintain the not only quality of the paper itself, but also for the quality of English. Because for historical or trivial point of view, for the Journal of Indonesian Economic and Business need more than 10 years to be accepted as a scopus. A lot of things mentioned in the previous submission in the or rejection from the scopus, especially when they talking about the quality of the English. It's really hard. And then the regarding the discipline, but Alhamdulillah, 2021 we already accepted SD. But that's the direction. We try to maintain the quality of the paper by using several agenda. Thank you very much. And then please, well, we really grateful if for the we're waiting for the paper. Thank you. Is there any question?
Next question.
Okay.
Sorry, sorry.
To get the quality journal that you have right now, can you share a little bit how you're going to maintain the quality? Because we know that you have your team to review the paper, the time that you take, and then I believe that all the student here and also the lecturer want to know the time that you take to review the paper, and then how you're going to. You mentioned that you try to maintain. You take about the 10 years. So can you give any tip to us how you do that? Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. For the slide presentation, can it the second file? I think there is a second file in the presentation. Sorry, just to make sure that my answer is in line with the journal. The next, sorry, the second file, second PowerPoint file. I think I already opened that one.
Yes.
Oh, I think still in the first file. Sorry. No, not the second slide. I mean the second percentage PowerPoint file. I open to PowerPoint file. The next. Second file. Or maybe can I just go there? Sorry, first of all, I apologize.
Can we proceed to another question? Can we proceed to another question?
Another question? while waiting. Or I think I can. Okay. Thank you very much. So this is just to answer the question regarding the index, Scopus indexation. So a lot of pictures. Sorry. uh, so first thing that we would like to maintain is how the submission process. So we make sure that the process is consists of this rigorous process like the paper submission and then the first. So there are two layers of review. The first one is pre-review, conducting by the all editorial member. So this is for the managing editor. So they will take around 2 weeks to make a pre-review process, and then thankfully for this. Sorry, I need to catch up my breath first. So for this, the best paper that from TeMIC conference will bypass the first layer. So we will, because due to this is the partnership and collaboration, the best paper selected will bypass the first layer of review process, and then will be directly proceed to the second one, to the reviewer. And then the review process consists of two blind peer review, and then we will select the best one from the field across the world, across the globe, and then hopefully after that, we usually take around 2 rounds for this for the review process. And some cases, if we think that the paper is good, but the reviewer say different, we try to looking for the other review to make a third round, and then maybe the fourth round. But fourth round is usually is a rare event even for the third round. But is it possible for that one? So because sometimes a reviewer has different opinion with us, and then we may say that this is good for the journal, so we try to looking for the other option, other perspective. And after that, we process to the after accepted, and then of course we can make LOA, the letter of acceptance, while waiting for the slot, the publish. So slot for the issue for the publishing for the paper. For the partners, we do not charge, but for the usual one, we charge for the for example the, I forgot the name, the editorial process for the before the publishing. Why I forgot the name. So after yeah, there is but usually it's only take maybe around 2 million rupiah. So it's how much that the 400 million Malaysian ringgit or something like that.
$200.
Uh,
$200.
oh, 200, yeah, 200. Sorry, million ringgit.
$200
200.
US.
Oh, sorry, 200 US dollar. So that's but for the story of the Scopus index, The problem is once I said beforehand that due to our broad or wide discipline scope, some rejection is also mentioned that one, but due to this journal is the highlight for like the in line with the vision and mission of Faculty of Economic and Business, we could not reduce into much more specific term. So that's why it took a quite long journey for about 10 years. But in some cases, for example, some journal like our third journal, Journal of Leadership Organization, it much more faster and much more easier to obtain the indexings because it's really focused on leadership and organization. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. We all the answers from our invited speaker. Invited speaker slot, how to publish your article in Journal of Economy and Business and Gajah Mada International Journal of Business have finally come to its end. On behalf of the committee, I would like to express my sincere thanks for joining us for today, and we will see each other maybe at some other time. That's all from our session. I will
Thank
pass
you.
to the master ceremony. Thank you.
Once again, thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much, Dr. Gige, Fitrianto, and Dr. Khairi. I hope every one of us has gained so much information and input from both sessions that we had just now. Again, as the token of appreciation to our speaker, I would like to invite our Head of Study Center and also the Chairman of TiBEC 8, Dr. Nik Fakrul Hazri Nik Hassan, to give away a souvenir from UiTM Cawangan Terengganu to our speaker, Dr. Gige Fitrianto, come all the way from Universitas Gajah Mada, Indonesia. Okay, a big applause to Dr. Gige. Thank you very much, Dr. Nik and also Dr. Gige. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the keynote presentation and invited speech session of TiBEC 8 2023. Thank you for attending, and we look forward to seeing you all again in the future, inshallah. Okay, before I end the session, okay, before I pass the floor to our next session, which is closing ceremony, I have an announcement that after the closing ceremony, later on, the food prepared outside is for staff, AJKs and VIP. For student, don't worry anak-anak sekalian, refreshment anda menanti di dalam bas, insyaAllah. Okay, boleh? Senyum. Okay. All right, with that, I end our session with a big thank you.